the conversation. We had a couple of questions pouring in about the latest feature updates and our roadmap. And now our experts are ready to dive in deep into the topics that matter most to you. Keep those questions coming, as we have about 40 minutes together. We welcome Andrea, Johan, and Holger, who are joining us online. And we have Martin here with us in the studio. Let me also introduce Tavos Kochkari, leading the collaboration business lane, Carlos Cordero, leading the engineering business lane, and János Detre, who leads the architectural business lane within product management and will join us today to answer questions. So let's jump right in with the first question, which is from Alig Mantas. And what is the future of Paramo tool? A very good tool, just needs further development.
I'll take it, Sabi. And thanks for the first question of the day. I'd like to generalize the answer regarding your question a bit, because providing great tools with different levels of entries and requiring different levels of expertise for creating highly parametric GDL objects are an important topics on our table. As you could also see in the product updates this year, we did a great update regarding the GDL editor, bringing it to the level of modern integrated development environment. That is definitely having a higher level of expertise needed for it, but it needed a revamp in that sense. Regarding Paramo, it is still on our table assessing its future, but we also see great potential in it, so thanks for raising the topic.
Yes, and thank you for the question. Let's go to the next one, which is the partnership between Graphisoft and Epic could indeed be seen as a fresh start for Graphisoft in the field of rendering. Despite the market trend favoring tools like Enscape, in parentheses VR, Graphisoft has chosen to distance itself from Twinmotion and focus on its own rendering capabilities.
I'll take this one also, Sabi. Let me continue. You worded it interestingly. Let me react on it, because definitely it was kind of a fresh start in that sense. But I would challenge what you brought, that we are distancing ourselves from Twinmotion. Because actually what we are thinking about visualization is that we are aiming to provide the freedom of choice for our customers. There is a great amount of integrated capabilities regarding many different use cases for visualization right inside our tools. And regarding others, where there are specific expertise existing on the market, we are looking for partnerships, either through live connections or either through file-based interoperability. And Twinmotion is one of these. There was a great promotion running for a time. Now we have a great promotion with Enscape, for example, where our customers can acquire Enscape next to Archicad for 2 years for 1 year's price. So we see it as that we ever
through the connecting add-on, you can really experience the two sides of the story, your precise architecture model in Archicad and the visualization model in Enscape.
Okay, thank you both for the answer. The next one is from Rex, and the question is, what can Graphisoft do to address communication concerns and enhance interactivity between development, policymakers, and customers? So we notice very little participation from the Graphisoft personnel on the community board. We have many questions that mostly go unanswered.
Yeah, I'm happy to start, because actually in the last couple of years I was personally involved in the birth of Graphisoft community and how we transitioned from Archicad talk to have a very active conversation there. I'm a frequent flyer there, so a pro tip, if you tag me, likely it will land in my inbox and I will go there. And of course we try to have that and dedicate as much attention as possible. But on the other hand, Graphisoft community is great because people are jumping on those conversations. It's not only us, Graphisoft, but also fellow users. So I think in that format is great. And of course we can always do more. So thank you for the feedback.
Great, and thank you, Marci, for the answer. The next one is not really a question, it's more like a comment to all of us. And thank you very much for that, Jonathan. I love all the architectural tools that are now released with this new version. So well done, guys, and thank you very much for the positive comment.
That's amazing feedback for us, and it's really confirms many of the work that our teams are doing, and I'm talking on behalf of the whole Graphisoft. So we had an internal stating from Gábor Kovács-Palko that this version is a love letter to architects, and we were laughing on that statement, but that's your confirmation is very true that then if we are going in that direction.
Okay, let's go to the next question, which is again from Rex. In past events and on the community board, a main concern has been the shift towards MEP and the structural tools at an expense of architectural tools and features. The roadmap introduced in April has a majority of features dedicated to MEP and structural. Can we expect architectural tools becoming a priority again?
Yeah, so I think, so Rex, first of all, thank you for the activity, not only on this event and on our previous events. It's very good to have you. So it's the whole, my answer is twofold. That first of all, the previous answer is a confirmation that we invested the right amount in architectural features or features, functionality, capability that is relevant for the architectural use. Our last event, we talked about complexity of BIM project, and that complexity really being in multidisciplinary design. So I think it's not a safe way for us and not even for you to go into purely architectural segment. Having tighter connection with your fellow disciplines is where the industry is heading. And also, since our merger with DDScad, actually we have additional resources, for example, to dedicate to MEP. So that positions us very well to tackle that segment. So from my perspective, where I'm sitting, it's rather an extension than defocus from architecture.
And let me add one sentence. One card on the roadmap is not equal in size. So keynoting, for example, is a pure architecture feature, but it's way bigger than some smaller MEP features which have their solely card on the roadmap. So you cannot just count one-on-one.
Good, great. Thanks, Holger, for jumping in also on the answer. We have another one from Rex, which is, again, an interesting one. In 6 months, we've seen little to no development of the public roadmap. Will there ever be a method allowing users to participate? How can Graphisoft understand our needs if we are not allowed to participate, interact with the roadmap?
So I start, and then I will involve Holger in the answer as well. So our roadmap, we quarterly iterate on a roadmap. This aligns with our internal revision of many things. So quarterly iterating and updating. And the roadmap is good if you don't need to steer it too much. So actually going on a straight course is the most efficient way to do. Yet, as technology and the environment changes, we do iterate on that roadmap. We promise you that we bring interaction to the roadmap. We are not yet there, but that's our plan to do so. And also, it's not our primary source for information, how our product managers design what will be included in our products. So there are user groups. You can, through our channel, reach us. There are events, all sorts of things that gets the input for the drawing table. So it's not entirely only our roadmap. I don't know, Holger, if you want to extend on this from your perspective.
Yes, we're currently investigating how we could have this conversation on the community portal, because right now the roadmap is on graphisoft.com, and this lacks some possibilities. And I'm in the talks with the customer success guys who are hosting the community, how we can open up this for further discussions. We're not fully sure. This portal seems to have some capabilities which we can use, but this is in the discussions at the current moment.
Thank you, Holger, for the answers, and thank you also, Rex, for the questions. Let's see another one, a little bit more technical question from Eleni from London. So how could you please let us know if delivering Kobe is achievable with Archicad 26 and above, and where we could find this information, as it does not exist at the moment?
I think I picked that topic. Thank you, Eleni, for the question. Delivering Kobe has not changed in the previous versions. So from Archicad 22, where we introduced this previous guide, the workflow hasn't changed at all. We are going to check the information that you can find about, and we are going to update it accordingly, but I can assure you that the workflow is going to be the same. So nothing has changed on that front. The same level of delivery can be expected with these versions as well.
Good, great. Thank you, Sabi. The next question is about MEP, but it's more related to Archicad, even though, Carlos, if you're free to extend the question to either Andrea or Johan, please do. So I love Archicad. About MEP, I think Archicad is still lacking in MEP. Can Archicad improve more about MEP? And the library in Archicad is not much like, the library in Archicad is not much like Revit. How about that?
So let me start by saying that I share the same feeling. I also love Archicad. And regarding the MEP, we as a company looked at the MEP solution, existing MEP solution, and we also recognize that it needs to be leveled up. So we need to think about, as an MEP engineer, looking at that solution and provide the functionality and all the benefits that MEP engineers are looking for it. The good news is Archicad 27 is right at your disposal, and with that, a brand new MEP modeler. So the MEP modeler was renewed. It brings, it's designed with the brand new engineering mindset, and it's just the beginning of this new road where we are heading. Of course, together with bringing on board our colleagues from DDScad, all the expertise and so on, of course, brings an added value to this. So stay tuned, because definitely you will see on the roadmap interesting news coming ahead, including also the library topic.
Okay, thank you. Andrea, would you like to add anything?
Yeah, I can say that Carlos also already mentioned, but what I would say that we are working on the MEP modeler, that this will be continued in the next year, and of course we want to enrich with calculation abilities inside Archicad, and of course we want to work on this close connection between Archicad and DDScad, so we can collaborate closer in projects together. Yeah, only in addition.
Thank you. Okay, another question. Do you, and this is again more technical and related to Archicad, so do you plan, and if yes, when, to update the slab tool? I mean, to upgrade it in a sense to be able to use it for designing slopes, for drainage, fall of flat or green roofs, balconies, loggias, roof terraces, for example. Janos?
Question, thanks, Sabi. It's not that technical even. It's about the future, and I would even, extend it, not just labs. And it is in the under research, that's what I was thinking about, under research category at our public roadmap, to deliver design capabilities generally for layer structures, including slabs, walls, roofs, and so on in that sense. And design capabilities means not just, for example, what you mentioned in that sense, which is a very, very important workflow, that working with altering thickness elements, for example, in flat roofs in that sense, but other modeling, documentation, or skin level visualization capabilities like that. These are highly requested and important workflows, so we are now starting active research on this and start delivering into the future.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Janos. The next question will be related to DDScad. So what could we expect from Archicad and DDScad working in cooperation in short term? And I believe Andrea will answer that question.
Oh, of course, I like to. Yeah, both Archicad and DDScad support the holistic approach of working on BIM work processes. This enables users to deliver projects faster and with less risk. Indeed, here are still opportunities to improve. So we are going to work on Archicad and DDScad workflows to enable that architects and MEP engineers can work even better closely together. For instance, when Archicad is providing this second level space boundaries, we would have a chance to directly use it in our energy calculation, like the heat load based on the European standard, or on the cooling load regarding VDE, or on the energy calculation supported with ASHRAE. So here we would have direct possibilities to use directly for closer collaboration, but also when we achieve that, we have opportunities in DDScad, for example, to use directly the referenced IFC for placing constructing systems. So there are a lot of opportunities, and you can find that already in the roadmap from which Holger presented today. So there are really many things we can do here in the short term.
Awesome. That sounds great. Thank you very much for the answer. The next question is related more to the product roadmap. And it goes, hi, the landscape architecture community seems to have been forgotten in the development of Archicad over the years. Specifically, the plant libraries is very limited, and they find it difficult to create plant schedules in Archicad. Any upcoming solutions for landscape architects coming soon?
So I'm happy to start. So thank you for sharing that question. So we understand that for landscape architecture, the content that is specific is crucially required. So that's not something that is on our short-term roadmap, but that's definitely food for thought to validate and see where we can either develop or partner up with somebody who has the right solutions available, so that make sure that you have access to it.
Okay. Thank you, Martin.
That regarding the solutions which we are developing now, it shares also an overlap with their utilization regarding landscape architecture. Let me mention just one story, and after that one feature with which I might touch on some of the questions, I think, which appeared regarding keynotes. At the beginning of the year, we were in Sweden, and their landscape architecture is a significant part of many architectural firms in that sense. And we saw many plans they were showing proudly their projects for us, and we see it fully loaded with keynotes, completely manual workflows in that sense. And keynotes, as you can also see it on our public roadmap, is currently now in the in progress category in that sense. We are actively working on it, and we are aiming to deliver it for you in an upcoming release in that sense. And that definitely shares an overlap, for example, documentation-wise with landscape architectural workflows, because also landscape architectural assets or even plans are being tagged all along, and this workflow will be automated. So there is quite a big overlap between what architects and landscape architects and many other disciplines are able to achieve inside Archicad, and we are working on those, and they are delivering value also for landscape architecture in the future too.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Janos, and thank you, Martin. And maybe then landscape architects can also connect with each other on our Graphisoft community, for example, to share these best practices that you just mentioned from that Swedish firm who you visited. Let's go to the next question then, which is about BIMx. And it's from Pablo. BIMx Pro messaging could be connected to BIMcloud Basic.
I think it's mine. Yes, the question is unfortunately no, because BIMcloud messaging with BIMx Pro is only available through the BIMcloud version, not with the basic version. So if you want to achieve or try out this function, you need to have a BIMcloud. And though we have this BIMx Pro feature, the new issue creation, the markup tool, you can also enter, you can use this feature on BIMx to put the BCF files back to your Archicad files, so it's not limited only to the message function. If it was the question originally, or only the messaging, then it's only for the BIMcloud.
Mm-hmm.
Only.
Okay, thank you, Sobi. The next question again is more like a comment. Congrats to Shara, great presentation. I do really like the interoperability developments. If Carlos, you would like to jump in related to the interoperability developments, then this would be our cue. Otherwise, anyway, we will give the thanks to Sarah. Thank you very much for the comment.
I would jump into the answer exactly to say that. We'll make sure to pass the congrats to Shara as well.
All right. Okay, another question from Karel. I would like to know if some of the items in the idea pool, for example, flexible door window tool, skin-by-skin design, split-level documentation, which are more focused on architecture, will be delivered in the next version. Last year, it was presented on one of the events that it was planned. Why is it in the idea pool then? So it's more related to the product roadmap.
Yeah, so how the product roadmap works is that there are these three columns of how we classify all of those ideas. And it doesn't mean that every idea will get into our next product increments or versions, as you might be familiar with. So if something stays in the idea pool, we confirm that this is something that is super relevant and eventually we want to do it, but we haven't picked that into to be going to our product increments. And I don't know, János, Holger, if you have any additional thoughts.
Let me add to it a bit more that you mentioned two of these topics which are since then definitely inside the under-research category. Doors, windows, skin-by-skin design. These are overlapping in certain areas. So that is definitely showing that progress, which Martin referred to in that sense. So please reach out, be active on community because we are actively researching these topics for the future.
Thank you, János. Martin as well. Next question is related to hotlink modules from Juan in South Africa. Would be nice if only specific information could be imported from a module. Some files become heavy and then unnecessarily increase the size of the main file. It would help us a lot on large urban scale files.
So let me start and then I will give it over. So we absolutely see the challenge that the complexity of projects is growing and managing the whole environment as one project open in Archicad, DDScad or any of our products is actually a load on both the hardware and the software. So as complexity will grow, this is something that where we have prototypes and experiments to see that how we can filter the information that you actually need and each person actually needs in a project and see how we can convey that. This task is not trivial, but thank you for confirming the importance.
Definitely. I would just add two specific examples to it. One is that you can also see it on the public roadmap that under the under-research category, modularization's actual realization inside Archicad, hotlink modules. We are actively researching to deliver performance improvements regarding those, being able to edit them in place, to name that specific item on the public roadmap. And another item which we are actively working on, also in connection with improving performance of these hotlink modules, which are very regularly used for those very complex projects, which Marci mentioned. And this is about improving how, for example, classifications and properties are handled inside these modules, which will definitely has file size related improvements and by that performance related improvements.
Okay, thank you both for the answer. Let's go to the next one from Francesco. Hi, should we expect the new features described as coming soon to be released with version 28, or will some of them be released with version 27 updates?
Should I? As I said in the introduction, it's kind of flexible. We expect most of them in the next year. Some of them might be released sooner or later, but I guess most of them, what we have there, is planned for next year.
Mm-hmm. I would add to it that is our best intention.
Yeah, so one guideline for all of us here at the Graphisoft is that we have all of these development projects rolling, and when we do the actual release, we have our internal criteria system. And if we feel that the functionality is not yet ready for production use, either we position it as an experimental feature, which we can see in many of our tools, to actually capture how you use it, have the conversation, and we can take it further, or we just withhold the release and finish all the related tasks, and then we release it. So in that sense, we have rather a scope and a quality approach than just having things out on the market.
Thank you, Martin, and thank you all for the answers. The next one is the 360 panorama from Archicad or from Enscape? I'm guessing from the presentations.
Yeah, it's from Enscape.
Okay, thank you for the question. The next one is from Rex. A recent post on the community board alluded to requiring a Graphisoft ID for opening more than one model in BIMx. Does this mean that our clients that we send BIMx models to will need to create accounts, particularly when more than one model will be presented to them? This can have logistical concerns. A BIMx question.
So we consider Graphisoft ID as a glue, because there are many out of you and your clients who are utilizing our applications, and we have Archicad, BIMcloud, BIMx, DDScad. And through Graphisoft ID, we can identify the person who is behind the device and associate all the privileges that person has. So that's a baseline for us for that, any further customization and so on. So that's why across our whole product portfolio, Graphisoft ID is becoming the default de facto standard. It's not only us, most software companies do that. I do understand the hassle that that's something that you will need to manage through the whole thing, but then also you will know who you are working with and making sure that you can have the right models available for them.
And let me just jump on that, because functionality-wise, after logging in BIMx with the Graphisoft ID, we released previously pro functionalities available for free for everyone. For example, the unlimited model size, the favorite scene saving, and so on. So in this case, the clients also benefit from these features, because they won't have any problems if they would have previously with those. And this is a mandatory login only for browsing more than one model of their devices.
Okay. Thank you very much for the answers. We have another DDScad question. What are the next plans for the development of DDScad and the plans for the future? Getting a few insights would be great. Andrea?
Maybe I could start and Jochen could finish.
Okay.
I think I already mentioned this closer connection between Archicad and DDScad and the collaboration, but we have another approach, for example, which is to empower the design and construction capabilities inside DDScad. For example, when as you know, maybe the architectural design getting more and more complex, and this is affecting also the requirements and the MEP systems. We have to adapt to this complexity. Also, when you look to engineering office, they have to handle about a lot of changes during the design phases, and that's part of their daily business. I think we have to work on our to increase our and improve our modeling functionality. We have to ease system editing. This especially in collaboration work with different disciplines, and also when there are many changes over and over in the model again. Our approach is empower the design and construction capabilities, and maybe Jochen, you want to add another topic?
Yes, thank you, Andrea. I can say maybe a few words looking at the electrical discipline. So in the electrical floor plan model, we improved during the last versions the functionality around the flow segments objects, and with this I mean cable tray and cable trunking systems, and we would like to continue this development, and we would like to introduce a new flow segment system and busbar system for the energy supply, where outlet boxes or distribution boards can directly be connected, and such systems are quite interesting for larger buildings or for underground parking slots where a lot of charging stations must be installed for electrical cars. And another topic which we would like to improve is our light calculation capabilities inside the electrical domain. So we have already light calculation, an internal DDScad internal light calculation using the simplified efficiency method, and we have also an interface to the professional light calculation system called Relux, but we would like now to close this and make it round, and would like to renew the interface to Dialux Evo, which is the most used application in this area. And yeah, these are 2 points from our roadmap as an example, looking at the electrical domain.
Thank you both. Very insightful. The next question will be something that is related to Archicad, and I know this question well. Will you introduce in Archicad sun and shadow settings for the plan views?
For floor
plan views.
Definitely. It is also on our public roadmap. We see the great need for adding capabilities to Archicad, which can provide even nicer plans, for example, for architectural design competitions. We are already able to create, for example, such floor plans, but we are also assessing the capabilities to streamline these workflows even further in the future regarding floor plans too.
Thank you, János. We have time for a couple of more questions, so if there's anything that you see that you would like to vote on, please click the like button to move it forward into queue. Until then, the next question will be from Karel from the Czech Republic. Do you plan to upgrade the library part maker? At first glance, it's a great tool, but it lacks the possibilities of Paramo or GDS scripting. Maybe combine these together?
It's a very good idea at the end. Maybe you have some insights into also our thinking. But jokes aside, I would connect it to a previous answer I gave about Paramo, because definitely Library Part Maker is another piece inside those 4 tools, if we even count, creating an object inside Archicad and saving it as a GDL object, which are addressing the need regarding parametric object creation with Archicad. And Library Part Maker is definitely on the lower entry threshold level, with less expertise needed, more graphically created, different levels of details, even in 2D. The user is able to customize there. We are assessing it as part of the same question. Now we introduced an updated user interface and workflows regarding the GDL editor. The future of the Library Part Maker and the Paramo relies around the same questions. We are aiming to answer it in one go, with a high level of customization, and of course with low entry threshold in that sense in an ultimate scenario.
Great. Exciting answer. The next one will be related to BIMx and BIMcloud again, similar to the messaging question, but this time, can the new issue tools in BIMx work with the BIMcloud basic?
Yes, the answer here, again, is pretty similar to what I gave for the previous question. You can save the issues from BIMx as a standalone BCF file and transfer back it to your Archicad. Doesn't matter if it's a solo or a teamwork project, but it won't go through the BIMcloud as the mediator here. So the BIMcloud basic won't act as a messaging and distributor here. You need to save it as a standalone BCF file to distribute it in your projects, while you have the BIMcloud. Not the basic version, then this workflow is streamlined much easier because you can just send those issues immediately to Archicad teamwork projects.
Okay, thank you, Sabi. Next question from Adam. In the last 10 years, Archicad got functionally more powerful, and because of integration of the database and BIM, every year a little bit slower in daily work. The performance of the processors are a million times faster than 10 years ago. Is it time for the new code base and new programming of the software? And what do you think that will happen?
Yeah, so we do absolutely understand and see this challenge that projects become far more complex. There's a lot more data to be lifted by the application and the hardware, so hardware utilization is key. And over the course of the last couple of years, we run several discovery projects to see where we could invest in advanced multi-threading and things like those, so it can be a major speed up in the projects. And we identified several things. Those are in the motion or either are released, maybe not that visible for you because we do lots of refactoring. Actually, a certain bit of our software development is dedicated to refactoring. So those are not things that we have on our roadmap. This is something that we do in-house to enable our applications. So during this discovery, there are no extremely low-hanging fruits that if we would do this, then every of our users will experience 10 times improvement. So we will keep pursuing that to see. And that connects back to my previous points that whether do you need to have access to all of your data in your design environment, or it's a more advanced database relation when there is a single source of truth data for your BIM project, and you can query and filter that information that you are working on. So we are absolutely on that thread, but at this point we don't have anything in release stage.
Thank you, Martin. Let's then go to the next, which is a very technical question from Claudio. When can we access an object parameter in a property expression?
Indeed, it is very technical and very specific. But it is an idea which is definitely inside the idea pool regarding our public roadmap, which means that we see great value to assess it in the future. Regarding your one question, I don't want to get around it, but currently we don't have an exact answer. It is an important idea which we will assess in the future.
Thank you. We have many more questions, but we don't have, we will not have, unfortunately, time for all of them. So again, please, if you see something for the last couple of minutes, please upvote. Let me go with Karol's question, which partially we answered previously, but maybe Sobi, you can help us to dive into it a little bit deeper. Hi there. I am trying to work out COBie out of my Archicad model. Unfortunately, there are issues with the method that is explained in the graphs of material. There is COBie template for version 22. Well, COBie template will be updated to new revisions of Archicad.
Yeah, with the COBie output, I encourage you, Karol, to reach us out and let's investigate what are those issues that you think there are in the workflows, and we can address these pretty quickly. I'm sure we haven't heard of critical issues delivering COBie with the previous workflows or with the existing workflows. So feel free to reach us out and let's find it together. How can we solve it?
Great. Thank you, Sobi. The next question will be from Carl, which might be relevant for you as well. Whatever happened to OpenBIM, which used to be Graphisoft's focus of collaboration? The presentation and roadmap last year and now seems to be focused on integrated solutions, all under the Nemetschek umbrella.
So, first of all, thank you, Carl, for watching. And then just in front of everyone, I want to thank actually Carl's dedication to us. So he's one of our key moderators on Graphisoft community. So I wanted to make sure to appreciate his work here on this event. So we are proudly behind OpenBIM, and that's with us for decades, and that will remain with us. And even advanced new functionality, we use solutions that rely on OpenBIM. So Sabi mentioned the BIMx issue, which is sitting on the BCF format. So, and we did the IFC certification for the version 4. Also, it's not only the OpenBIM, but the open approach. So János talked about our visualization approach to supporting formats like FBX that recently became available, or having connections to the variety of tools. So we do believe that our clients work in all different environments with the application stack that is tailored for what their deliveries, and we want to make sure that you have connections. So I don't think that we made any steps backwards. On the other hand, with our sister brands at Nemetschek, we absolutely do lots of integrations so that they make sure that those workflows tie together and elevate them on a level where OpenBIM is available, but you can improve those and automate those workflows. So in our views, this is how the dynamics work of our OpenBIM approach. And I don't know if any of you want to extend on this.
Maybe I can give a practical example of what you, Martin, just described, which is our interoperability with structural analysis solution through SAF file format. So currently we have more than 20 different structural solutions adopting SAF. 3 of them are, of course, sister companies from Nemetschek. The remaining 17 are out in the market, and we are open to connect with them. So again, keeping the openness, and of course, streamlining workflows across the Nemetschek group is a first step, because they are sister companies, they are close to us. But at the same time, this interoperability should be, and it will be open, of course.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. And Holger, would you like to add something?
Let me add one thing. The unique workflow what we have is and this is a kind of a paradigm shift, that we as architect let the structural engineer in our model, and they are working with the same elements, so with the same slabs, the same walls as we are. So it's not a side by side, so we're not doubling any elements where they are in our model without touching our model. That is sometimes hard to explain, but this is the beauty in this one model concept.
Thank you, Holger. And this is a very good final word for all the questions. And thank you very much. We have a lot more in the queue, but we won't be able to answer all of them. Feel free to engage in our Graphisoft community, for example, to ask all of your questions, where you cannot only get answers from our experts, but you can also ask fellow professionals and colleagues as well. So please, please do engage with our Graphisoft community. We would love to have you. Let me pass on the word to Marton to wrap up today's event.
Yeah, on behalf of Graphisoft, we thank you for joining to our event today, and we truly hope that you liked what you see and you are excited to have your hands on our products. So let's stay connected. Here are some resources to help us stay in touch. If you're already a user, scan the QR code and upgrade to the latest version for information about how our 2023 product portfolio will help your business. We want to help you to get the most out of our solutions. Register to our next digital event, which is about Learn, Building Together Learn, on November 16 and 17, to explore our latest training and education programs and learn from other customers how they put our solutions into practice. Speaking of Graphisoft Learn, check out our renewed BIM Author program for Graphisoft Archicad subscribers. It's available at a reduced price. The BIM Author program is designed to kickstart your BIM journey. You learn how to model, document, and visualize your design in Archicad. Subscribe to Graphisoft Learn and start your journey to become a Graphisoft certified BIM author. And finally, enjoy the benefits of all of our products and solutions in one. Subscribe to the Archicad Collaborate product. Collaborate includes the latest versions of Archicad, BIMcloud, and BIMx, with full support coverage and access to the Graphisoft Learn portal. Thanks for joining us on Building Together Connect. We hope to see you again at our upcoming events. Thank you.